in. Horrible story in Major League Baseball. This involves a guy that many thought was going to be a superstar with the Dodgers and he's really fallen off track. He got traded. He went to Cincinnati. He went to Cleveland. He's out of the major leagues. He tried to play in Mexico. He played last year in South Korea. Yasiel Puig is now looking at a 5-year prison sentence. He just pled guilty this week in New York. He's got a gambling addiction problem. He's facing a 5-year sentence, a $55,000 fine. He lied to the FBI about his involvement with a gambling ring that was put together by 2 minor league players in Newport Beach. Those guys are going to prison, the 2 guys that created this gambling ring. He got caught up in it. It wasn't a sting on him. It was a sting against Wayne Nix, a former minor leaguer that formed this gambling ring. His attorney yesterday in New York asked for leniency, saying that Puig has attention deficit disorder, has mental health problems, and has a gambling addiction. In 1 month's time, he lost $282,000 in bets on sporting events. Then he got involved and continued to place bets in a 2-month span. In 2019, at the end of the baseball season, he placed 898 bets in a 2-month span. I mean, that's a significant gambling addiction, a significant problem. And he got caught up in this. They're not saying that he was wrong for placing bets. What they nailed him on was he lied to the FBI when they had all the data. John, if I call you in for an FBI hearing, that means they got information on you. You better tell them the truth. And he lied. He lied like 4 to 5 different times in a different series of questions about his relationship. And this guy, as Vin Scully used to call him, the wild bull, when he first came up with the Dodgers, you thought, holy cow, look at this talent. He, of course, came from Cuba. It's a big, big issue, and his game eroded. Dodgers got tired of the act and all the problems and all the distractions, and he became a journeyman, and now he's out of baseball. His lawyer has asked for probation and the fine, not 5 years prison sentence and a fine, saying he needs mental health help. Bad story, really sad story.
Yeah, I mean, this guy is kind of a dope. I mean, I remember I was with my son and we were out, because he played travel ball, and in spring they're out there in Peoria. So we were going to watch travel ball games, but then we go check out the spring training facilities, went over to Camelback Ranch where the Dodgers are. And we're looking at the scoreboard, their starting lineup, and the number 3 batter is this guy that's like Puig, or what does that say? Does it say Pig? What is that? And sure enough, this dude walks up and he is massive and he just launched bombs out of that stadium. I'm like, this guy's legit. And so then he comes on the Dodgers, he's tearing it up, and then he starts getting a little goofy, kind of doing his own antics. And at first it was kind of endearing, but after a while you knew this guy has some mental health issues.
I'll tell you what, you looked at him early on, and I'll zoom back with you for just a second. He played his first 3 games with the Dodgers here against the Padres. I don't know if you recall this. I think he went 8 for 12. And he threw guys out from the wall in right field with laser shots from right field.
Yeah.
I looked at this kid and I said, holy cow. And he had come up towards the end of that season. And there was a stretch of time, John, he was hitting 600 when he first got here at Dodger Stadium. And he wound up hitting over 300 in that group of games, that final third of the season. I said, boy, this is a star in the making. And next year, he continued to hit, continued to make plays. I mean, he's an unbelievable physical specimen. But as you say, then his personality traits took over and his productivity started to go down. And then there were issues in the clubhouse and there were relationships with the manager. And no, I won't do that again. And then he'd do it again. He'd show up late. He'd miss batting practice. And they finally said, enough is enough. And of course, his productivity went way down. And they gave him away to Cincinnati. And then Cincinnati let him go. And he went to Cleveland. He was there for half a year. Then next thing you know, he's in the Mexican Winter League. And he goes to South Korea. Didn't hit very well over there. And then now all the stuff is surrounding him. So troubled soul. That's about the only word I can use to describe the sadness of what this whole Yasiel Puig thing has evolved into.